guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nadia and I'm your decorator. In today's video, I want to share with you 11 simple and budget-friendly tips in order to update and refresh your interior spaces. So, if this topic is of your interest, thank you for watching. Sometimes we feel the need for change, and it may happen because maybe you get tired of the everyday routine you have, or maybe because your kids have grown up and left the home for further studies, or maybe just because you want to implement small changes that will exchange the energy, refresh the interior, and all together bring something new into your life, and with it will make you feel better. Indeed, in order to refresh the space, most of the times it doesn't even require a big investment. Now, the simplest tip, and I think you already know it, is to reorganize the space. So, take a look around the house or the room that interests you and write down all the pieces of furniture and decorative objects that you have. Moreover, take the right measurements of the walls and of the furniture pieces before you start to move things around, just to make sure that you have the space to switch the places. Maybe the space of the room will allow you to switch places among them. For example, redirecting the sofa with the armchairs to create a convivium, a cozy convivium area. You may, for example, subtract some side tables from the sofa or add a centered small table. Add a vase or some, small decorative and interesting design pieces on the small table to create some interest. Or maybe it will be interesting and opportune to introduce a two-sides library that, for example, for years stayed along the wall, and now you can use that same library, make it central piece, and dividing the living room, for example, with the dining room. Things like that. Another simple way of refreshing the ambient would be lighting appliances. Now, the least expensive would be simply changing the bulbs, switching from warm light to cold light, or the other way around. A more substantial change would introduce a new collection, for example, a new chandelier, a new floor lamp, some appliques on the wall, or even the introduction of a pair of table lamps. But pay attention to one important aspect, because most of the times lighting appliances are integral part of the ambient. Therefore, choose wisely the design and materials to fit with what you already have in your house. Moreover, lighting may be used to create accents, to mesmerize and bring visual interest. So, creating a play of light and shadow and a switch of different materials. Embracing this idea, look for unique and most particular, models and designs that you can find, something that resonates with your character, that speaks for your personal preferences. Moreover, if you have a wall covered with a particular wallpaper or maybe some unusual finishing, you could direct the lighting here to underline this wall. Or if you wish to make the wall look higher, for example, bring in a slim and tall floor lamp, for example, the Arco designed by Achille and Pier Giacomo Castiglioni, which is an iconic design object. As you can see, lighting gives you a multitude of solutions, of different solutions that you can introduce into your home environment easily and create something different, something unexpected and, interesting. Another great way to refresh the ambient is introducing big green plants, starting from aloe vera and rubber plant and spider plant up to calathea and the most incredible green European olive tree, or the fig plant, or different species of palms. The selection is truly huge, I would say. So based on where you live, choose those which will be easier to curate. Choose as containers a cache pot that will be interesting and particular and will bring more design interest into your ambient. And at last, Green plants, will introduce a spot of color, so it will be very good and opportune for those of you that are loving, neutral tones and achromats. Moreover, if the plant is big enough, you can use it to create different spaces. So use it as a divider, for example, between the living room and the dining room. Another good idea would be to apply the minimalistic aesthetic by keeping outside only those decorative objects that are expensive and that are majestic, so big, important, colorful or particular objects. For example, position on the coffee table a selection of big and particular covered books that are of interest, or place on the top of a sideboard one or two unique vases, for example, or sculptures that resonates with the style of your home. As for the small objects, it is better to group them all at once and keep them as a unique group. This way they would look more organized and assembled. Lay down a new carpet. It will immediately change the atmosphere of the entire room, reminding to choose the model that will resonate, however, with the thematics and decorative objects that you have in the room, and pay attention to the texture. There are 5 basic textures for the carpets: the velvety, saxony, frieze, shag and cable. So they're providing different kind of look and texture, so choose the one that resonates better with you. For the bedrooms, I would however advise looking for natural fiber rugs, for example containing wool or cotton, or made of leather or fur, and also materials like, for example, viscose, linosyl, that will isolate and keep warmer. However, in the areas that you are using more and more, for example in the dining room and living room, and also in the entrance hall, are better to choose something that is made of polyester fiber, or however a synthetic fiber, because of the resistance to usage and the maintenance process. The washing process is absolutely easier. So choose something that resonates with you, with your requirements, and something that will absolutely go well with the design of your home. Another simple tip that you can apply is to update your upholstering for the padded furniture, for example for your sofa or the armchair or the poof of the benches of the bed. So it is a great opportunity to add a new texture, a graphic motif, or bring in a new color. So you can choose to upholster one or more pieces that you already have, and this way you can update the interior of the entire room. For example, by choosing a covering in a plain and vivid color, you will bring an accent to the room. Or if you want to unite in one collection different pieces that you have, for example a sofa and other armchairs that are that were brought in different times, you can upholster them in some different fabrics, but which are united by 2 or even 3 different colors. You can add some pillows also, so this way they will be different but united in the same thematics and the same color, and they will look as a group, as a collection, as an entire collection. Moreover, it is very important to bring in the tactile impressions, so look at fabrics that have some texture. I love very much, for example, the boucle fabrics and the jacquard and some velvety fabrics, because they are feeling cozy just by looking them at first sight. But for example, in countries that is very warm climate, for example in Italy and Spain and the south of France, I would absolutely advise something that is made of linen, which is always textured but more transparent, and you feel it so much better, especially in the warm season. And in these countries, the summertime is basically basically 8 months a year. So, choose based on where you live and which are your requirements. Another tip to update your interiors is to bring in more natural light as possible. And there are simple ways to do that. For example, one of them is to take away from the window heavy curtains and also big size furniture so that the natural light may easily come in from the window. Another interesting and very often used tip is to make use of mirrors that reflect the natural light into the ambient, and by so increasing the quantity of the natural light that enters the room. Another interesting idea would be to apply light painted colors on the wall that would reflect naturally the light and, make the ambient look bigger, more voluminous. And a bit more about the painting colors, I would say that a great hack would be applying in a room a color that is more of pastel tones, just to think outside the box, not using the same white egg and cream colors that are great and neutral tones, but the usual ones. So think of something different, and the pastel colors will give you so much opportunity. There are so many great palettes that you can use today. A color that can be opaque or can be glossy, the way that you want, but something different, something that will resonate with your personal preferences, and that will add a little bit of color but stay always light and bring the interest and particularity into the room and maybe even in the entire house. Always using the big surfaces that we have, the walls. You may also cover it in a unique wallpaper that is easy to apply and easy to remove. So look at some mesmerizing and amazing wallpapers that created the designers in the recent years on topics starting from exotic gardens and wild birds, and finishing with soft tones, classical ambience, and huge variety of different patterns and graphics that are in between of really different tones and colors. So you can choose, for example, a covering for the main wall of the living room in some exotic wallpaper and add some big, green plants in some interesting design cachepot, so that you will obtain some kind of entirely new atmosphere. It's almost would be like bringing the outdoor life inside your home. So it will be very refreshing. Or you could use, for example, to cover the wall of the bedroom with some playful dramatic or particular neutral tone wallpaper, bringing an easy look into the bedroom that will not be boring, that will be a little bit more interesting. Another easy way to upgrade your interiors would be to bring in some particular decorative objects, something new that will, captivate the attention and make the ambient look complete. The simplest way would be considering to change your home decorative objects and accessories, like for example, choose new pillows or vases, bring some decorative trays, plates and bowls, vanity and bath objects, bed lingerie, including tableware for the dining table. All these small objects that you are using basically on everyday basis, that will bring some uniqueness and interesting thing into your life, and that will upgrade immediately your interior space. And last but not least, I would advise creating an outdoor space on your balcony, terrace, or in the garden. If you live in a house, you may create easily a beautiful front porch or a backyard patio or a veranda or a pergola, the construction that you prefer. Furnish it with comfortable sittings and a dining area where you can enjoy your free time and the company of your friends and family. Complete the space with an outdoor rug, some curtains to prepare from the sun. Bring in some big plants in order to, make it more interesting and particular. So it may look like the part of the house itself. It will be your personal space, your outdoor space that you can enjoy every time that you wish to relax and just, feel free and just take some sun and relax and either read a book or stay in the company. The same idea can be applied, of course, to the balcony areas and terraces. Even if the space may be very small, you can still organize it to create a cozy angle that you can enjoy for yourself. Well, these are just some recommendations, simple tips that you can apply today and are requiring small investments that will radically change the perception of your home. So use your imagination and creativity and be playful. Do not be afraid of trying something new. New is good, different is good. So the result will give you the satisfaction of looking at your home with new eyes. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite tip, and share if you have other tips that other readers and watchers can use, simple tips that can apply today for increasing the interest and the particularity and the design of your home. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this dedicated to home spaces and also offices. In the meantime, I wish you a great week ahead and we shall see each other on my next video. Ciao! Mwah!